Hello, my name is Grace Lazenby. I currently work as an administrative assistant at Boise State University and am a business professional with more than 30 years of experience in business administration and office management. I also have extensive experience in working with foster children, refugees, and disadvantaged individuals. My dream job would be to be involved in humanitarian service full-time. My family has always been the most important focus of my life. And though my children are now grown with families of their own, and the 45 foster children that shared my home over the years have moved on, I believe that the greatest successes of my life have come through planting seeds of hope and confidence. Life hasn't always been kind to me, but despite some setbacks, I continue to move forward and pursue my goals. Making a difference in the world through the work that I do is how I define success, and I look forward to future opportunities to stretch my wings and participate in service opportunities. My Capstone project is focused on answering questions about the things that need to be considered before becoming a humanitarian aid worker or working with underserved populations. I chose this topic because I want my work to make a difference and drive lasting change in the world. Community service has always been a part of my life, either as a volunteer or as an employee. And as a foster parent to more than 45 children over 11 years, I witnessed firsthand the devastation that occurs when people don't have the basic needs for survival, a safe place to be, or the resources that they need to be successful in life. It has also been my privilege to volunteer with an organization called Operation Underground Railroad. It is an organization founded by a former CIA agent, Tim Ballard, who is working to rescue children around the world from the bonds of sex trafficking. Child sex slavery is one of the biggest plagues in our world today. Even right here in Idaho, innocent children are kidnapped, sold, or tricked into becoming sex slaves. It is real, it is happening, and it needs to be stopped. I am an abolitionist and would encourage any of you with an interest to become involved in this cause as well. Although I have had a lifetime of varied work opportunities and experiences, long term I cannot see myself anywhere but in the service of others. My hope is to someday be able to focus full-time effort on making a difference in the world. It is what fulfills my life. There are some things I need to consider before choosing humanitarian service as a career path. I have a need to do more, to have an impact, to make a difference. And I hope that this will eventually lead to finding a job in the humanitarian field and helping people who have been struck by disaster or misfortune. It's hard to sit by and watch the devastation of hurricanes, floods, earthquakes, famine, and refugees on the evening news and not be able to do something to help. I anticipate that most of my humanitarian work will continue to be done at the local level, but I hope to be able to do some traveling as well. It may be an uphill battle, but I am confident that my experience, cultural sensitivity, patience, and altruistic spirit will prove beneficial. There are plenty of job sources for humanitarian work. In fact, there are so many that sometimes the choices can be confusing. The stories of scandal and the examples of mismanagement that make the evening news on a regular basis can make it discouraging for those of us seeking to make humanitarian service a career. However, as I think about the organizations I will volunteer with and am willing to ask the hard questions to be informed, I am confident I will be able to help them run more efficiently. I realize that it will be important to maintain a sense of humor because working in emergency situations is stressful, and laughing enables people to relax and cope. during a crisis. Other questions I need to consider before choosing humanitarian service as a career are which organizations really help others and which ones are only focused on generating profits. What precautions do I need to take in order to maintain personal safety? And what might the impacts on my family be? 3 of the organizations I am considering include LDS Charities, the American Red Cross, and Days for Girls. LDS Charities is the humanitarian arm of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Their mission is to relieve suffering, foster self-reliance, and provide service opportunities. They sponsor relief and development projects in 189 countries around the world and give assistance without regard to race, religion, affiliation, or nationality. Their funding comes from members and friends of the LDS Church. None of it comes from government grants. The American Red Cross works to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of natural disasters and other emergencies. Because they do not receive governmental funding, their success lies in the power of their volunteer base and the generosity of their donors. One thing that draws me to this organization is a shared spirit of generosity and a desire to give back to the community. Days for Girls is likely where I'll focus my humanitarian efforts, at least in the short term. Through volunteers, enterprises, and public and private partnerships, Days for Girls is working to shift how women and girls see themselves and are seen by their communities. Days for Girls International was founded in 2008 by environmental educator Celeste Mergens. After working at an orphanage in Kenya, she realized that she had never asked what products the girls used when they had their monthly periods. She was stunned to hear the answer. Nothing. They wait in their rooms. She soon realized that girls around the world were missing up to a week of school each month and eventually dropping out, and that women were not able to feed their families because they were missing work, all because of a lack of feminine hygiene products. Unfortunately, there are those in this country who face similar issues. Local homeless populations, refugees, and even some middle or high school girls often do not have regular access to the supplies that they need. Days for Girls aims to alleviate some of these problems by providing appropriate, reusable feminine hygiene products to women and girls around the world. So, is being a humanitarian aid worker dangerous? It is impossible to know how many humanitarian workers there are in the world, or how many are injured or killed each year because of the lack of actual statistics. The number of deaths and injuries appears to have increased between 2006 and 2009, with 60% of the incidents happening in Darfur, Afghanistan, and Somalia. However, not all aid workers are equally at risk, and it is clear that some places are more dangerous than others. The risks vary depending on who you are, where you're from, and what you look like. The reality, however, is that most humanitarian workers assist outside of these troubled hotspots and never encounter a serious security or safety incident. Of course, it'll be important that I do my homework, take safety seriously, and learn how to reduce the risks, but I need not become paralyzed by fear. The best advice I have found is to speak to people who live and work in the places I'm interested in, get specific advice from them, and then follow the same common sense rules that I would follow in any unfamiliar place. As a whole, risks to humanitarian aid workers are not significantly higher than those working in other professions. When I began this project, my thought was that it would be fairly easy to obtain work in the humanitarian field. After all, there's a huge need worldwide. Aid organizations always need assistance. I'm educated and enthusiastic and will soon be ready to go. Unfortunately, my research reveals that when it comes to full-time humanitarian employment, having field experience is almost everything. And unless my degree is technical in nature, which it is not, it really doesn't matter much. I'm not dissuaded, however. If my work leaves the world a better place, that becomes tremendously powerful and motivating to me. The problems to be faced will be challenging, and often there may be no choice but to attempt to resolve issues with insufficient skills and resources. And I know that many factors will play into my success, but I look forward to knowing that my contributions will make the world a better place. I am at a place in my life and career that money, while important, is no longer my major motivator. There is a huge range of salaries and benefits available, ranging from agencies that only employ volunteers to organizations that pay extremely well. However, the pay, even at the top end, is generally less than the equivalent in the corporate world. Additionally, humanitarian work can place enormous strains on marriages and relationships. The pace of work, constant and unpredictable travel, separation from loved ones, and other stressors can make stable relationships difficult. Humanitarian aid experiences have and will continue to change me. And because there is the potential to negatively affect family relationships and future friendships, it will be vital that everyone involved is aware of the risks. In November of 2016, it was my privilege to travel to Haiti with members of the Meridian, Idaho chapter of Days for Girls. In collaboration with Mission of Hope Haiti, we worked alongside mobile medical clinics in several remote villages, teaching classes to women and girls about personal hygiene, menstruation, preventing infection, and how to use the kits. Nearly every single woman who visited these mobile clinics had a urinary tract infection of some sort. The things I saw while assisting in the villages of Haiti will forever be etched in my memory. Working on this Capstone project has increased my desire to pursue even more involvement with the Days for Girls organization. As I move closer to graduation, I'm excited about emerging plans and dreams. I chose this Capstone project because I want my work to make a difference in the world. This project has allowed me to explore important considerations of becoming a humanitarian aid worker and working with underserved populations. But in the process, I have learned not only about the field of humanitarian work, but more about myself as well. When crisis and misery are at their worst, it is important to know what is really needed to help people to help themselves. I look forward to using my existing business knowledge, as well as past service experiences, to develop practical applications and solutions to humanitarian needs. Because I have been given much, I too must give. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching.